Hey, shalom everyone, this is Kris Shoemaker, also known as Yehudah ben Shomeyr, and welcome to the Daily Drash. Today's Daily Drash is taken from Psalm 34, and I'm going to be reading verse 9 in the New American Bible. It says, "Learn to savor how good the Lord is. Happy are those who take refuge in him." I'm almost surprised that there's not a Selah at the end of that verse, which Selah is often used in the Psalms, which is a Hebrew word meaning to pause, to ponder, to think about, to meditate upon. Learn to savor how good the Lord is. Happy are those who take refuge in him. Learn to savor. Learn to savor how good the Lord is. How do we do that? Well, I can tell you, when you savor something, you're not in a hurry. You take your own sweet time when you savor something. When you savor something, you stop and you take time to enjoy whatever it is. Learn to savor how good the Lord is. It's not just this quick fix, this quick thrill. Savoring is taking your time. Savor is a word that's usually used in connection with food. You've heard maybe somebody say, "Okay, enjoy your food, savor each bite." It reminds me of my mother when we used to go to Dairy Queen, and she would get a hot fudge sundae with double pecans. And we would all get our ice cream, and we'd get in the car and we'd go on our way. And mom would always be the very last one to finish her sundae. Why? Because she was a slow eater? Well, that might have been part of it. But it's because she savored each bite. She had a love affair with this hot fudge sundae with double pecans. She would each bite she would take, and as soon as she would put the spoon in her mouth, she would close her eyes and she would just kind of rock her head back and forth ever so slightly, and you could tell that she was savoring that bite. She was thinking about the coolness of the ice cream, how it felt on her tongue, and the texture of the ice cream, and how the hot fudge mingled with the vanilla ice cream. And then she would just slowly crunch the pecans, and as she munched on the pecans, she would release the oil, the tasty oil that was in the pecans that gave it its flavor, and she would just roll the mixture in her mouth as if it was a fine wine, and she would just savor each bite. And each bite would take her, a while to consume, and then she would go again for the next bite. And by the time she got to the end of her bowl, a lot of the ice cream had already melted because she took her time. She savored each bite. And that's the way it is with the Lord. A lot of times we get into a scrape, we get into trouble, we get in a crisis, and we want a quick fix. We want God to yank us out of there. But we can't really truly appreciate the Lord in all that he is, and all of his infiniteness, all of his omniscience and omnipotence, and all of his power and all of his presence, unless we savor the Lord. Learn to savor how good the Lord is. It's like visiting a friend, somebody that you haven't seen in a long time. They've traveled maybe out of the country or out of state many miles to come and see you, and you go have dinner with them. It's not just like a 30-minute, "Hey, look, I'm on the clock. Glad you're here. Glad you could make it, but I've got other appointments, so if we can make this quick." No, you just wipe out your whole schedule and you take time out for this friend that you haven't seen in years, and you spend dinner with them. You uh, you wait until like the restaurant is almost closed and everybody's gone, and the waiter comes, "Hey, we're closing in about 15 minutes, just giving you a heads up," because you want to savor the moment with your friend. And that's the way it is with the Lord. You want to know how good the Lord is? You've got to savor him. You've got to spend time with him. You've got to make the time and spend the time and just not even consider a clock when you do it. Learn to savor how good the Lord is. Happy are those who take refuge in him. When you take refuge in him, it's not just like hide and go seek. You're hiding under a table or behind a curtain for a short period of time. When you take refuge in him, you are on a retreat. You are gone and you are out of the picture. You are off the battlefield. You are resting. You are recouping. You are in a fortress of safety while the war rages around you, while the enemy's storming the castle. Happy are those who take refuge in him. When you take refuge, you're taking time. Used to there were places in the United States and Canada called sanitariums, and it was for people that were overwhelmed and overstressed with their life. It was a medical facility that they could get away and just enjoy the mountains, enjoy the forest, enjoy the streams, enjoy a quiet refuge in the wilderness. Now these places don't exist. I guess they've been transformed, most of them, into insane asylums or mental health facilities. But they were called sanitariums. They were places of refuge where people took time out of their life to rest and recoup and get their head back on straight. So learn to savor how good the Lord is. Happy are those who take refuge in him. Every day we should have a time where we steal away with the Lord and savor him. Whether it be the privacy of early morning or the privacy of late night before we go to bed when we have nobody else around, and we just wipe out our clock and our schedule and don't even consider or look at the clock, and we just spend time with him until we are satisfied and satiated. And that's what we need to do every day. Hey, thanks so much for listening. Go out there and have a great day. Shalom and Shavua Tov.
Abraham'sDescendants.com, getting back to the first century in a 21st century way. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press the like button as well as the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and the notification bell that'll let you know every time I make a new video. And don't forget to share this with a friend. Also, visit our website at Abraham'sDescendants.com. Thanks. Shalom.
Thanks for watching. Stay connected by subscribing to our other social media accounts and visiting our website at Abraham'sDescendants.com.